Off Limits is the money podcast that blows up stereotypes, showing you that managing money doesn't have to be hard.
We want you to thrive, not only with your money, but in every part of your life.
What you will get out of this podcast is real, relatable, and relevant tips and strategies that you can apply today. Hi, I'm Donald Raymond, and this is
Christine Spiak. We are money coaches, business owners, and colleagues who are passionate about helping you become more of who you are. So if you're ready, join us. So your offer's been accepted, you're moving through with the process, and now you come to the closing and bring your, how do I want to say this, your John Hancock ready, because you will sign a lot of documents.
I was going to say wrist brace. You bring a wrist brace. And it might be the, this is no fun. It's exciting, but yes, if you've never done it before, I don't know, Christine, 100 signatures per person?
A lot. And in New York State, we are required to have an attorney review our documents and be part of the closing process.
Same here in Georgia.
And so, they have their own documents, and the bank has their own documents.
So
and
you've got a stack of documents.
Their own documents.
You've got owner, you've got seller, you've got buyer, you've got realtor, you've got attorney, and everybody's passing paper around the table, and everybody's just signing. Yep.
Yes, a lot. And so make sure you have what you need, right? You don't need drama that day by leaving your driver's license at home, right? Whatever you may need for these closing documents, make sure you bring them with you. Make sure you have your down payment with you, any other payments for your attorney or whatever other fees you have to bring that day. Have all of your ducks in a row, your I's dotted, your T's crossed. So when you show up for this meeting, you're relaxed, you're calm, because it's a big purchase, right? There's emotions that are involved. There could be a little anxiety that's involved. There could be a lot of different things running through your head. Be prepared for going into the closing meeting.
And I would just add, put it on your calendar, and beyond just being prepared, with making sure you have your ID and those things, make sure you've allowed enough time on your calendar that you don't have distractions, that you're not having to run out of a meeting last minute from work and then you get caught in traffic. I'm speaking from experience here. I had one scheduled during the day. We had a busy day at the job that I was at that time. They called some last minute meetings. We had an emergency situation happen that I was involved in. And so I was dealing with that and trying to figure out how I was going to make it to the closing on time. I actually called and let them know that I was on my way, but I thought I might be late. It was not the best situation. And so had I just taken that day off, right? Just take the day off, have the whole day. That way you can get through the closing. You don't have distractions. You don't have the stress. And then when it's over, go to your new property. Right.
You get to celebrate.
Don't take the truck. Don't schedule the truck for that afternoon and start trying to move in or anything like that. My wife and I, when we moved to Arkansas, we went to the closing and we went to the house, and it was in bad shape. Like I said, it was a distressed property. We had a little bit of work to do to clean up, but we just ordered pizza and we sat on the floor and we ate pizza. And, I think we had Diet Coke in our new home. Right. And we just, that was our celebration. It doesn't have to be anything extreme, but it was calm and we enjoyed it, and we made a memory of it. And I definitely take the stresses away. Have your ID, have all the things you need, all the practical things, but definitely have enough time to get through the process without being, distracted, pulled away, or having to reschedule. That happens sometimes. I've had to sit down at a closing table where the seller, I was the buyer, the seller didn't show up. So this is a non-controllable, right? I controlled my side of the table. But the seller didn't show up. They had to reschedule. So it pushed it a whole week, and that changed everything for me, And those things happen, but just if you can avoid it, try to avoid the stressful situation. So now you're a homeowner.
Yeah, you're a homeowner. You did your final walkthrough. You went through the closing procedures. I'm going to say one tip if you're the seller in this process, something that I think is a really nice touch. What if you leave a new home card and maybe a bottle of champagne or something behind for the buyer when they get to go in for the first time as the new homeowner?
I love it.
That's just a little tip.
Yeah, I've done construction projects in the past for those kinds of like updates and renos, preparing a home for sale. And we would typically actually hide something in the wall so that if somebody ends up doing a renovation down the road, they'll find it,
That's funny, because when we were building our home, so like I mentioned, I've owned 2 homes, one we bought, one we built, but it was a turnkey mortgage, so that it was a little bit different. So it was basically like we were getting a regular mortgage, not a construction loan to build the home. But we were very involved in the entire process. was our plans, everything.
Awesome.
So one day we come to our house that's being built, and the walls had been framed, but no sheetrock yet. And there's a dollar hanging in what is now our pantry wall. And we asked everybody, like, who put that? Like, is it a superstition? Yep. Was it a neighbor? Was it a contractor? Was it a family member? To this day, we have no idea who put the dollar there, but That's it's funny. There. And if anyone ever demos it, they're going to find it. and I kind of forgot about that story until, we're just what you just said. So at the end of the day, after all of this, we still want you to maintain financial responsibility now as a new homeowner, because you are going to incur costs that just come with the territory of owning the home. And I'm not even talking about whether it's lawn care or driveway care in the winter, having someone plow your driveway for you. There will always be something that you need to stay on top of, so you're being proactive with your home instead of reactive with your home. You don't ever want to ignore a problem that eventually leads to becoming a huge financial burden if you just stay on top of things alone.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Off Limits.
Beyond the podcast, we are money coaches who want to help you.
So if you are looking for help managing your money, use the links in the description below to contact either of us and learn how coaching can help you thrive.
Lastly, please help us to spread the word by subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing our podcast with your friends and family.